Hi, so here I am at WITMA, and I'm with Whitney Miller. She just got off stage, and we wanted to talk to her a little bit about what she just dug into. I heard that the overall subject was love as a superlative state.
Yes.
What was the consensus there?
Really, it's all starting about you. You know, it was like, how do we cultivate love within ourselves? And that will basically transmit to everyone around us.
Totally. And I heard something about love being a practice. Mm-hmm. And I'm an energy healer. And I literally, before I got to this space, just did an energy healing session. And the theme that came up in that session was love and how she to come back to her love. And we talked about what that looks like in action. And I feel like no matter where you are in your life, that's the guiding force. But that's like also very woo-woo talk that I'm talking about. So what does that mean in action to you?
Well, for me, and I talked about this a little bit on stage, I am a master at distracting myself, and I feel like a lot of us are.
Yeah.
And that can be with friends, that can even be, what I realized, that can even be when you're reading or you're doing your meditative practice or whatever. If you're just doing it to check it off your to-do list, you're not really doing it with the why, the intention behind it. So for me, what some of my practices that I love to do, I just started doing kirtan recently. I've always had a really big fear around singing.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to like open that channel up for me.
I love that.
So every morning I try to do kirtan. It's about 13 to 14 minutes.
Wow.
And I just read Ram Dass's book, Polishing the Mirror, which I absolutely love. And he's basically saying that to do anything to get you closer to God, to do anything to get you closer to love or the universe, and that's how you really cultivate and practice love. Because we all have it already. Yeah. It's already all there. We just tend to block it out sometimes and distract ourselves and not put in the dedication to really cultivating it.
Totally. I love that. So anything that you can do to get closer to feeling love and to being in that love, whatever that practice is for you individually, is what is priority.
Yeah.
But why is that? Like, what is the point of that? Like, you know, I feel like a lot of people are looking to get something. I actually saw a meme the other day where it was a line at a festival, and it was like a fortune teller, a past life regressionist, and then in the middle it was like, be here now. Okay. And there was nobody in the be here now line.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to know about their past lives and their future. And so I would love to just pull out, what do you feel is the point of that? Or is there a point? Like when someone's like, well, why should I do that? Why should I make love or the practice of love my priority when there's so much going on in the world and I have so many things to do?
Because you're just going to feel better. I mean, it comes down to, it's super simple. You're just going to be happier. And you have tons of stuff to do. Absolutely. We all do.
Yeah.
But why not do that and feel really good about doing it?
Totally. So feeling better is enough.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it overlays into everything in your life. You wake up, and if you're not practicing love, maybe you're more in a state of distraction or fear-based thinking, or you're constantly looking for validation or acceptance. That is going to drain your energy, and you won't be able to be fully free and fully expressing. And so you can do that for sure, and you might get through life totally fine, but you're kind of living a little bit of a subdued life instead of like, you know what, let me just try this love thing out. Let me just try a couple of things and see how you feel. If you even feel like just a little bit better, why the hell not?
Totally. So give me one example where in the past 24 hours you feel like your practice of love in your own safe space has been impacted. Anywhere in your life where you're like, wow, the work works.
Yeah, so I mean, I think even just being invited to different events like this one, I can't say in the last 24 hours, but I feel like really the past 8 to 10 months for me has been like, wow, I'm really doing it. This is amazing.
Totally.
I had what my dream job was at the time. I was working as a sports commentator for Glory Kickboxing. And that was my dream job. And I loved that job so much. But then I realized I was interviewing somebody in ring at Madison Square Garden for the world champion. And I remember sitting there saying, wait a minute, I have a story to tell, and I'm just here telling their story. And I knew that was when I needed to make my transition to do something that I was really called to and that I was really passionate about. So I moved into full love, sex, and relationship coaching from that. And ever since I was like, you know what, I'm going for it. I'm doing this. It's like the doors start to open and love starts to like just peek around the corner at any moment, and opportunities start. You meet amazing people like I met with you the other night. And so it's just been really fun to just kind of watch all of this unfold. It's like the universe being like, you go, girl.
Yeah, you gave me chills. And you can't listen to that nudge if you're not in a state where you're receptive to your own freedom and joy. Like you can't believe that you can deserve that if you're not already in a receptive state of receiving love.
Absolutely. So true.
So I love that you said that, because you were in this like really epic moment, but yet you were like, wait, actually I'm open to receiving even more. Like that's so beautiful.
Yeah, you just keep pushing your edges, keep pushing and expanding what you thought may have been possible. You just keep going bigger and thinking bigger and doing and just having a lot of fun in the meantime.
Totally. So I have a question for you. What does well-being in the modern age mean to you? Because WITMA is the lovely organization that brought us here today, and that's really like the big inquiry that we've been asking. So what does that mean to you? When we talk about the modern age, we have access to so many different technologies that we didn't have before. And I think we can utilize technology, we can utilize social media and whatever it is to really, like I said, open, can't even think of it now, but like push your boundaries and push your edges. And so I think it's using the technologies that we have to be able to do that. And it also starts with you. Like, get really curious. Find out what feels good for you, because well-being in the modern age is going to be something completely different for everybody. Your own brand of that.
Your own brand. Like, figure it out, mix it up. So get curious, find out what feels good, what doesn't feel good. Try it on for a minute, don't try it on for a minute, and just like explore those areas.
I love that. So where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, and it's Wit in Love, WHITNLOVE.
Awesome. And since love is definitely the theme, and you did mention that you are now a love and sex coach.
Yeah.
How can people work with you? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I do Skype and Zoom calls, and it started off as, focused on unconventional relationships, just because that's what my whole experience has been for the past 7 years with Aubrey. But so for me, it's really about giving people permission to create their most optimal relationship, and it's infinite. There is no
for them.
What that is for them specifically, right? And then like coming to your partner and being like, this is what I really want to do. Let's see what you really want to do and where the overlap is and how we can become teammates and make this work. And so when I'm working with couples, it's really about stripping away the layers, not really about your partner. It's about like what's keeping you from feeling really loved and in a receiving place to feel that and open it.
Yes, I love that. Oh,
Thanks.
thank you.
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you guys, and make sure you follow Whitney.